Imagine you are sitting in a softly lit, high-end restaurant in the heart of downtown Manhattan. You pick up your chopsticks and carefully lift a perfect, glistening slice of raw salmon sashimi. You are about to consume a dish that costs a small fortune, yet it represents the ultimate symbol of culinary sophistication, health, and modern luxury. We savor the delicate texture and the pristine flavor, completely unaware of the profound evolutionary irony sitting right there on our plates. Now, let us travel back in time. Not just a few centuries, but hundreds of thousands of years ago, out onto the unforgiving and brutal savannas of ancient Earth. Imagine our earliest ancestors, shivering in the chilling wind, desperately striking stones together just to capture a single, fragile spark of fire. For them, eating a piece of raw, wild meat was not a delicate dining experience. It was a deadly gamble. In a world without modern medicine, a single bite of uncooked food could harbor unseen dangers that would easily cause a member of the tribe to meet a tragic end before the night was over. Our ancestors spent millennia mastering the flame, and in doing so, they completely rewired human biology. Fire gave us softer food, a much shorter digestive tract, and the immense surge of daily energy required to fuel our massive, complex human brains. Learning to cook our food was, quite literally, the very spark that separated us from the rest of the animal kingdom. And yet, here we are in the year 2026. After nearly 2 million years of relentless evolutionary struggle to escape the raw diet of the wild, why is it that we now consider eating raw fish to be the absolute peak of gastronomic refinement? Have we simply taken a massive evolutionary step backward, abandoning the very flames our ancestors fought so hard to ignite? Or is there a much deeper, far more fascinating scientific truth hidden beneath the ice? To truly understand this culinary paradox, we must first step out of the comfort of our air-conditioned dining rooms and step back into the Pleistocene epoch, roughly 2 million years ago. Picture a landscape that is breathtakingly beautiful, yet utterly merciless. There are no grocery stores, no food delivery services, and absolutely no refrigerators. Every single meal is a high-stakes scavenger hunt, and the penalty for losing is your very existence. For our early ancestors, the world was an endless, grueling marathon just to consume enough calories to keep moving. Raw meat, scavenged from a predator's leftover catch, was tough, fibrous, and incredibly difficult to chew. Imagine spending up to 6 hours a single day, doing nothing but grinding your teeth against dense roots and raw, sinewy muscle. Your jaw aches constantly. Your digestive system is forced to work in overdrive, draining precious physical energy just to break down the tough cellular walls of your untamed food. But the physical exhaustion of chewing was only a small part of the battle. Out there on the wild savanna, a raw meal was a biological minefield. Without the sterile environment of a modern kitchen or the safety net of food regulations, a piece of scavenged meat was teeming with unseen microscopic threats. Consuming it meant rolling the dice against severe illnesses that could easily cause a perfectly healthy individual to quietly slip away into the night. It was an era where a simple stomachache could mean you would not see the sunrise. They desperately needed a way to extract more energy from their environment without risking their survival. They needed a biological shortcut. And then they captured the flame. Fire was not just a source of warmth in the bitter cold. It was the world's first external stomach. By roasting their food, our ancestors broke down complex proteins before the food even touched their lips. And more importantly, the intense heat neutralized those hidden biological threats. Cooking became the ultimate survival technology, turning dangerous, tough calories into safe, brain-building fuel. So, if fire was the greatest safety net our species ever invented, the very tool that kept us safe from the unseen dangers of the wild, why do we now willingly pay a premium to eat raw fish in a modern metropolis? And here's where the story takes a surprising turn. We look at a beautifully plated slice of raw salmon and we assume we are returning to nature. We think we are stripping away the modern world to embrace our inner hunter and gatherer, connecting with something pure and primal. But the truth is actually completely different. The answer to this culinary paradox turns out to be much deeper and more profound than we might realize. Eating modern sashimi is not a step backward into the dangerous wild. It is, in reality, a massive leap forward. That delicate slice of raw fish is not a rejection of the flame our ancestors fought so hard to master. In fact, it is the invisible fire of the 21st century. This single realization challenges everything we assume about modern dining. You see, the ultimate goal of the ancient flame was never just about making things hot. It was always about gaining biological control over a chaotic environment. Our early ancestors used the extreme heat of the fire to neutralize the hidden threats in their food, allowing them to extract the maximum amount of nutrition with the absolute minimum amount of risk. Today, we use the exact opposite extreme to achieve the exact same evolutionary goal. We use profound, highly engineered cold. That high-end sushi restaurant is not serving you food straight out of the brutal wild. They are serving you an absolute masterpiece of modern survival technology, brilliantly disguised as an ancient tradition. This is the very heart of our story, the hidden bridge between the prehistoric savanna and the modern dining table. To understand how we traded the ancient campfire for the modern deep freeze, we first need to look at the clues our ancestors left behind. You might wonder, how do scientists actually prove that early humans cooked their meals when wood and ashes vanish over time? The answer lies at a remarkable archaeological site in Israel called Gesher Beno Yaakov, dating back roughly 780,000 years. Researchers there did not find perfectly preserved fireplaces with rings of stones. Instead, they used incredibly precise tools and a technique called thermoluminescence to measure the hidden heat signatures of tiny, scattered flint fragments. What they discovered was astonishing. These heated fragments were clearly clustered together in specific areas, mapping out invisible ancient hearths. And right in the middle of these prehistoric kitchens, they found the fossilized teeth of carp fish that had been exposed to intense, deliberate heat. Our ancestors were gathering around the fire for a prehistoric fish roast. But the most profound evidence of cooking does not come from the dirt beneath our feet. It comes from looking in the mirror. When evolutionary anthropologists look at the fossil record of early human species from nearly 2 million years ago, they see a dramatic, undeniable shift. Their jaws became smaller, their teeth shrank, and their rib cages narrowed significantly. Why did this happen? Because a cooked diet meant our bodies no longer needed a massive, energy-draining digestive tract to process tough, raw food. By essentially outsourcing our digestion to the flames, we freed up a massive amount of internal energy. All those extra calories were immediately redirected upward, fueling the rapid expansion of our large, complex brains. We literally traded our gut size for our intellect. So, how does this incredible evolutionary journey lead us back to a modern plate of raw sashimi? Remember that the ancient fire was, fundamentally, an instrument of biological safety. Today, we have engineered an entirely new environment to achieve that exact same safety, but we do it with extreme cold. When a wild salmon is caught today for a high-end culinary experience, it does not just go into a regular icebox. It is immediately subjected to an intense, rapid deep freeze, often plunging to minus 60 degrees Celsius right there on the commercial fishing vessel. This astonishing level of cold acts as an invisible, high-tech shield. It thoroughly neutralizes any microscopic stowaways or unseen marine threats that could cause our bodies severe harm. But here is the absolute genius of this modern method. While the ancient flames destroyed the dangerous elements, the intense heat also broke down many delicate, highly beneficial nutrients. The extreme cold of modern technology, however, neutralizes the danger while perfectly preserving the natural structural integrity of the fish. This means when you eat that pristine slice of sashimi, you are absorbing a massive, unspoiled dose of omega-3 fatty acids and vital brain-nourishing compounds. These are the precise nutrients required to maintain the health of the very brains our ancestors grew around those ancient campfires. We have essentially hacked the biological system. We are using the absolute pinnacle of modern engineering to enjoy the pure, unaltered nutritional benefits of the natural world without ever having to face the terrifying biological gamble that our ancestors endured on the savanna. And so we return to that softly lit dining room. We have traced an incredible journey from the desperate, chilling winds of the ancient savanna to the precisely controlled temperature of a modern culinary plate. That fragile spark of prehistoric fire and the intense, invisible cold of today are two sides of the exact same evolutionary coin. Both are profound triumphs of human ingenuity over the harsh realities of nature. The next time you sit down to enjoy a delicate, beautiful meal of raw fish, realize that you are not just tasting a luxury ingredient. You are experiencing the culmination of millions of years of human intelligence. Deep within our biology, we are still those same early humans, constantly seeking the safest, most efficient way to fuel our extraordinary minds and bodies. The only difference is that our ancestors had to conquer the flames to survive the night, while we have mastered the ice to thrive in the modern world. Whether it is forged in the glowing embers of a prehistoric hearth or preserved in the profound depths of modern freezing technology, humanity has never stopped seeking ways to command the natural world to safely sustain our existence. Our team has dedicated a great deal of time and deep research to uncover the science behind these fascinating evolutionary stories. If you found this journey valuable, please subscribe to the channel so we can continue exploring the hidden truths of our world together.